Our web service is now capable of accepting HTTP POST requests and registering those users in our database by creating new records. But if we send HTTP POST request multiple times, we will get multiple entries exactly the same recorded in our database. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll bring up my Postman and I'll send HTTP POST request. Now I have one user registered in my database. And I will now send another HTTP POST request with same data, same username and same password, and I got it successfully recorded. Now I'll switch to my MySQL database and I'll select all records from users table, and I have two records that have exactly same email address and exactly same password. Now if I send one more request, I will get the third record with exactly same email address and password. We do not want that to happen, and we should prevent this. There are a couple of ways we can use to prevent duplicate records from our database, and in the following videos I'll show you both of them. Well, the first one is very simple. We will need to open up our user entity and then find a field that must be unique aside from the primary key. Our primary key is at this moment ID, and then unique names are user ID and email address. So I want my email address to be absolutely unique. I do not want my database table to have two users with exactly same email address. So what I can do, I can use this column annotation, and I can use attribute which is called unique equals true. So by using this attribute, I'm instructing database table that there should be no duplicates in my database table with same value for email address. So now I can test this quickly. I will stop my Apache Tomcat, I'll switch to my database, and I will drop the table. Drop table users. This will delete the table and this will delete the data, of course. So I'm dropping the table. I can attempt to select from users again, and I will not get any records. Now I will start my Apache Tomcat again. And now when it started, I will switch to Postman and send HTTP request. So we have one record recorded in our database. Now I'll send another record and I get back an exception. So the exception message says that could not execute SQL statement, nested exception. So this is not very friendly, and ideally we will need to handle this exception. If I go to my console here, I should get a different message which should say that we have duplicate records. If I look for here we go. So this is MySQL integrity constraints violation exception, and it says duplicate entry for this email address. Now what we can do, we can go to our user service implementation and handle exception and provide a less technical and more user-friendly description of an error. But at this moment I do not want to dive deeper into exception handling, because we are going to have a separate section on how to handle exceptions in RESTful web services built with Spring Boot. And now let's leave it as is and continue to the next video and learn about another possible way that we can use to avoid duplicate records in our database table.